Alrighty, and welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Hope you are all doing well today. Welcome to another fantastic broadcast of the Nevada Conservative, brought to you all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right. We're broadcasting from Mecca. Call this the Mecca of the center of the podcast universe, I guess would be. Got a great show for you today, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about an editorial that I wrote that's up on our website at the NevadaConservative.com right now, and it's called the Grievance Merchants. And so we're going to devote pretty much the entire show to that because I think it's really important. And we're going to talk a little bit. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Susie Lee with her just foul mouth. But stick around. I think you'll like this. And we might be able to even get, if we get some time, we'll talk a little bit more about the fraud that we're seeing all over this country, because it is just just drives you crazy when you keep seeing this. Anyways, we'll be back in just a second, folks. We'll get the show started. This is Sherman Ray. This is Nevada Conservative. We'll be back in just a second. Stay tuned. Folks, this is Sherman Ray, and thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. We are coming to you each and every day, folks. We're trying to do this pretty much as much as we can every day, and just kind of an add-on to the Nevada Conservative website, and which we update each and every single day. So we just hope that you're able to keep up with all this. There's so much going on, folks, that some of the stuff you just have to hear it right from the horse's mouth, and brings a little more texture and a little more context, I guess, to a lot of the stories. So before we get going too much further, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me make sure we're even up and running here, folks. I want to make sure. Yep. Oh, yeah. There we go. So we're up on our YouTube channel also. If you want to check that out on our YouTube channel, get it in on the chat if you'd like. But subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on X and our Facebook page. And don't forget to visit our website, because there's always something cool up on our website. I mean, always something new and exciting to behold. You can always write to us at the NevadaConservative@gmail.com. That's the NevadaConservative@gmail.com. Before we get started, before we go into our into my editorial, many of you probably saw this on X already, and it was Susie Lee. So some of you didn't. Maybe some of you didn't see this. Susie Lee, who is a senator here in Las Vegas. She posted something on X, and then she quickly took it down. Oh yeah, she quickly took this down because this was disgusting. It was something that I guess she just thought that she was just going to get away with this and no one would ever notice it. But she put it up on X, and she was talking about President Trump, because President Trump was planning to go to the Supreme Court to be literally the only sitting president who's ever sat in on watching a Supreme Court, arguments, that kind of stuff. And so she posted this and quickly took it down. Oh yeah, but by then it was too late, because you can see how many people actually saw it by the time it was viewed over 5,000 times by the time she was able to take it down, and people probably on her staff were going, "Susie, take this down, take it down, take it down." It says, "so effing effed up." So I won't say the word. You can probably figure it out for yourself. "I'll pray they F him in his face. Sorry, I say F a lot these days." Wow. Susie, let's take that down. She's trashy. That's just trashiness. Let's get rid of that. Yeah. Susie Lee. I want to inform you that you represent the people of your district, and and most of the people in your district are not. They don't use that word all the time, and you can, if you want to say whatever you want to say, on your own behalf, anytime you want. Okay, but when you represent the people of the state of Nevada, have a little decorum, ma'am. Don't be such a trailer trash, ghetto person, okay? Oh, I say F a lot lately. Well, say it at your own leisure and don't say it in public, okay? Because you represent us, and you're putting everybody to shame when you do things like that, and that's just sad. But I thought I'd bring that up because it not only made local news, it made national news. Yeah, it got around nationally. People are watching you, and you need to be very careful what you say. Susie Lee, I know. It's so sad, isn't it? I know. I thought, isn't that a great way to start the show? I think it's a great way to start the show, where she just decides that she's going to just say whatever she wants to do anytime she does, and that's just crazy. So. Anyways, let's before I thought you would enjoy that, folks. Let's take a real quick break. We're going to take a really short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about an editorial that is up on our website, and it's called "The Grievance Merchants." And I think you're going to find this very, very interesting. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative. Be back real quick. Right back. Bye bye. Okay, we are back, folks. Let's get this going because we've got a lot of ground to cover here. Yesterday we covered the president's speech. He was out in Washington D.C. and he was talking about the state of the Iran war, so we did an extensive drill down on that yesterday. I thought today would be a great idea to talk about something that I know you've all noticed this, folks, and we've all probably noticed this, that there is every time the president does something, there is some kind of protest. There's always some kind of grievance. Somebody's always upset at the fact that the president does anything. The president went to the bathroom. Oh, protest. President blew his nose. Oh, another protest. Oh, the president went to sleep too early. Oh, another he played golf. Oh, there's a protest every single time. So, and it's funny, and they're all well organized. We just had another No Kings rally, nationwide, 50 states, hundreds of thousands of people out there, marching, and something interesting is always the same that occurs. There's always a bunch of banners. They always tend to look alike. These are well-funded, well-oiled machines, very organized. And then if you try to find out who these people are that do it, it's all of a sudden the internet is void of whose the money is. So I decided to write an editorial, and we'll call it "The Grievance Merchants Unmasked: The Billionaire-Funded Machine Behind Endless Anti-Trump Marches." And I think you're going to find this very interesting, folks. So what do we mean by these things, what we call the merchants? Okay, the rash of protesters for every decision or topic has brought cultural watchers like the staff at the TNC, that's the Nevada Conservative, to coin the phrase grievance merchants. And we coined that phrase ourselves, folks. So I hope that you like that we actually coined that phrase. Grievance merchants are organizations, and by extension, the paid grievance mercenaries, those are paid people, enlisted to magnify and picket at grievance marches. There's no cause or topic off limits. Nothing is too big, nothing too small, as long as it causes a spectacle and can be a rallying cry to show their opposition to the Trump administration. That's really pretty much what it's all about. It's just Trump breathes, doesn't breathe, smokes, doesn't smoke. As long as he's doing something, they're going to oppose it. So let's take a look at the number of marches and their topics, which have produced grievance merchants and their grievance mercenaries to get all worked up since Donald Trump came down those golden escalators, that golden escalator back in 2015. From the moment Donald Trump announced his candidacy in 2015, the left's outrage machine kicked into high gear. And many of you probably remember this. Remember the women's march, the pink hat thing? Many of you remember this, stuff like that. Protests erupted at rallies, airports, and city streets over everything from the travel ban to border security. Go ahead and put up some of those pictures. Yeah, there you go. By 2017, the Women's March drew an estimated 3.3 to 4.6 million participants nationwide, the largest single-day protest in U.S. history at the time, framed as a stand against Trump's misogyny, yet conveniently ignoring the millions of pro-life women who voted for him. Now, here's the interesting thing about this, folks, is that even though these women were talking about how the president is such a misogynist, and that he was, President Trump, of all the presidents that I know of, has surrounded himself by a bevy of just incredibly smart women. And yet these folks seem to think that he's a misogynist, which couldn't be any farther from the truth. The man is just, he loves women. That's kind of what his trademark is. As a matter of fact, his last election, first election, Katie, what's her name? Kayleigh McEnany. No, not Kayleigh McEnany. Forgot her name now. She was the first woman to ever run a campaign successfully and got him elected for president. The list only grew. March for Science, anti-ICE actions, climate marches, and the 2020 George Floyd uprisings that devolved into riots in cities across America. Many of us remember that. Remember the Summer of Love? Oh yeah, we all remember those. Those are the good days, weren't they? During Trump's first term, the crowd counting consortium tracked thousands of sustained protests with spikes over family separation, gun control walkouts, and endless claims of authoritarianism. I can spell it, but I can't say it. Fast forward to his second term in 2025, protests exploded by 133%. Can you believe that? Compared to 2017. We thought there was enough in 2016, but no. By 2017, with over 10,700 recorded that year alone. Coordinated spectacles like hands-off rallies. Remember that? Hands off, don't touch me. April 2025, over 1,300 events in all 50 states. Multiple waves of No Kings protests. The 50501 action and anti-ICE riots in places like Los Angeles turned every policy win, securing the border, cutting wasteful spending via DOGE, or standing strong against radical agendas, into a manufactured crisis. And here's the interesting thing about it. No matter what the president did, it devolved into, oh, you're taking away our rights. DOGE, yeah, many of you remember DOGE, that when Elon Musk came on the scene, and what did he do? He made sure that that the money that was being spent in the United States was, at the federal level, was spent wisely. And you would have thought people would have said, "Oh, thank you. That's a great job, Elon." Absolutely not. What happened was you had a backlash like none other. As a matter of fact, many of you remember, and especially if you own a Tesla vehicle, that your car was probably being torched. Yeah, because this is how crazy it got. People were torching Tesla vehicles, private citizens' cars, because they did not like President Trump. They didn't like his policies. Until Pam Bondi, who just got fired today by the Trump administration, said you're going to go to jail for 20 years. And then all of a sudden, that stopped. All of a sudden people said that's the limit of what we can do. We don't think we want to go to jail for 20 years. And that's the craziness that we saw just recently because of these what do we call these guys? I forgot what we call these guys. Grievance merchants. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, guys. We're just getting started with our grievance merchant spectacle that I think you are going to just continue to love, folks. So anyways, when we get back, we'll talk more about the grievance merchants on the Nevada Conservative. Be back in a second. All right, we are back, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. If you are, folks, go ahead and write. Go ahead and write to us, and let us know that you're digging the show and that you think we should continue to do this, because we love to hear from you. Really do. This makes my day when people say, "Hey, guess what? We really enjoy what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing." You can write to us at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. That's thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. We'd love to. Or you can leave us a note on our YouTube channel in the chat section. Always love that. We know you're loving these videos, folks, because we upload them on our Facebook page immediately. We had 500 people that loved it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's resonating with people. And so we will continue to do this. But go ahead, and we'd love to see you become, subscribe to our YouTube channel or X account, that kind of stuff. And we would love to hear from you. Today we're talking about the grievance merchants. Grievance merchants, folks. And what are grievance merchants? Well, it's people who get their undies all in a wad every time the president does something. Susie Lee she fell prey to this. Some people call it Trump derangement syndrome. Well, yeah, that's Trump derangement syndrome. But these are the people who actually go out there and protest. Not just the people who say, I'm just upset every time they get triggered every time the president does something. These are the people who actually go around with signs around their necks, and they actually get out there and they protest. And they protest in mass. Whether they're paid or not paid, they're out there, folks. And so we started tracking these folks to find out who they are. And this is very interesting. So let's continue with this, okay? This was an op-ed that I wrote for the Nevada Conservative, so you can check this out on our website at thenevadaconservative.com. And just look for the editorial section. It's up right now. And we'll actually leave an excerpt to this of this podcast there. Oh, and if you want to get the podcast, guys, of this broadcast, you can go to Spotify. It's up there. It'll be on Apple Podcast very quickly. We'll get this up on Apple Podcast pretty quick, and you can check it out on Apple Podcast too, if that's what you choose. So, but it's an op-ed I wrote, and we're going to go ahead and go through a lot of it here tonight. Hopefully, we can get most of it done And if not, folks, you can read the whole thing. It's up on our website. The topics that these grievance merchants march to, you can name it. Okay, immigration enforcement becomes cruelty. Protecting women's sports from biological males, they turn that into transphobia. Restoring law and order, it's called fascism. Even tariffs to protect American jobs, even to protect your stinking jobs, or efficiency reforms drew Tesla takedowns. We mentioned that in the last segment. And no king's chance claiming Trump wanted to be a monarch. Nothing is sacred to these merchants. Not faith, not family, not the Constitution they claim to defend while undermining it daily. You see, in America, there used to be we had a thing called freedom of speech, and now you can't even do that. As a matter of fact, if I went in with a MAGA hat on or a MAGA shirt, which I have several of them, I could be killed. In America, where's the constitutional outrage there? I guess it's not there. These aren't grassroots uprisings from concerned citizens. They're professional operations designed to sow chaos, dominate the news cycle, and erode the America First agenda that put working class families first. And I want you to understand this. These are not grassroots uprising. These aren't just a group of folks that have gotten together and say, hey, let's guess what? We don't like this. These are organized. They're organized. They are structured. They have a mailing list of people. Some of them are paid. Some of them are not. Some of these people get paid by the hour to get out there and do their thing. And that's what the last part of this is all about, folks. The last part of this, let's identify these organizations, folks. The organizations and the people who are funding these grievance marches, we see each and every week. And it's not like a week has gone by, folks. It is each and every week we see something going on, somebody upset about something that the president is doing. You got to follow the money. And it leads straight to the usual suspects. Yeah. Indivisible. Let me give you one before we take a break. Indivisible. The group coordinating data. Okay? It's called a group called Indivisible. Communications and much of the No Kings network has raked in, guess how much money these guys have raked in? Has raked in $7.6 million from George Soros, his Open Societies Foundation, since 2017. Can you imagine? It's one group called Indivisible, including $3 million grant in 2023 for social welfare activities. Add in $350,000 from the Tides advocacy arm of the Tides Network, a notorious dark money pass-through that funnels cash to radical causes. And this is just the beginning, folks. When we come back, we're going to finish this up because we only have a couple of minutes left. But I want you to understand, folks, these are not grassroots efforts. These are well-funded, and it's by the usual suspects. And when we talk about it, when we come back, folks, you're going to find out who else is a part of this. Stick around. We'll be back in just a second. Excuse me. Ooh, wow. Something go down the wrong throat there. Wrong windpipe. Sherman Ray. And this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, folks. We are here. We're almost at the end of the show. We're going to try to get in, the last bit of this this op-ed that I wrote for the Nevada Conservative just today. So, folks, stick around. You're going to love this. Just a couple more minutes because we got a little bit more of fluffing to let you know who these people are. We're talking about the grievance merchants. They're unmasked. Billionaire-funded machine behind endless anti-Trump marches. And this is important that you get this, folks. We've been talking about the group Indivisible, George Soros, the Open Society, the Tides advocacy arm of the Tides Network. The Soros empire, folks, now steered by his son Alex, isn't alone. The Tides Foundation and Arabella Advisors 1630, the 1630 Fund has poured tens of millions of dollars into allied outfits like Community Change, Move On, and a web of 500 groups with billions of dollars in revenue. It's amazing. Unions like SEIU, the AFL-CIO chip in, as do other left-wing foundations. Professional arms even hire compensated activists. And these are some of the guys that you see. You'll see some of the ads on things like Craigslist and stuff like that for people to make, that's what happened in the No Kings rally, that you saw people saying, hey, guess what? We need more people. As a matter of fact, when I had my own restaurant at one time, there were a group of marchers who came out and protested in front of my place. And they were there for about 4 hours. And then I saw one of them go like this with his watch. Oh, everybody, we got to go. We got paid. Our 4 hours are up. and they all left. Paid protesters. Some of them, we call them professional firms, even hire compensated activists. And there's all kinds of these professional firms who do this. And what they do is they swell the crowds. These aren't volunteers burning with righteous anger. They're mercenaries on a payroll. That's all they are. Funded by billionaires who despise America, the America that elected Donald Trump twice. They just hate our country. Guys like Neville Singham. Guys like George Soros. These people don't like America, and what if they don't love America, why don't they just go someplace else? Why try to ruin the golden goose? While these grievance merchants chase headlines and taxpayer-funded grants, millions of everyday Americans, pro-family, pro-life, faith-driven patriots, quietly build businesses. We raise our children under God and defend the Constitution that made this nation the world's last best hope. They know the spectacle is just that. It's a show meant to distract from the real results like secure borders, energy independence, and economic revival. And that's really what it's all about. The grievance merchants can march every week. They can march each and every day if they want. But real Americans, I want you to get this, but real Americans aren't buying what they're selling. As a matter of fact, there was we're done with the thing. Matter of fact, there was a show on CNN, or was it MSNBC? One of those two. It wasn't like a conservative thing. And they said that even the Democrats are fed up with Democrats. They hate what they're doing, and they asked a pollster. They said, "Well, why do Democrats? Why are they in such disarray?" And the pollster said something very funny. He said, "Well, it's because it's an off year, and because when you're in an off year, you don't have a leader, and that's why you see Democrats hating Democrats so much." I would push back. I would say the reason why Democrats hate Democrats is because of Democrat bad policies. When all they do is fight against America, they fight against American policies, they fight against family, they fight against faith, they fight against border security, they fight against safety in America, they fight against lower taxes, they fight against God himself. And that is a recipe for disaster. There is a reason why so many people are moving out of California. They're moving to red states. There's a reason why there's a revival of in the young people for Christianity. There is a reason for that. Is because at its heart, Americans love America, and they love the rule of law, and they just want to live in peace. And that's what it's about. So you grievance merchants, you can march every day for all you care, but the American people aren't buying it. Okay, you've got some people that'll buy it, but most people are just not buying it. Okay. Anyways, it's been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative. Thank you once again, folks, for being a part of the broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, you can get this entire broadcast of this the whole article on our website at thenevadaconservative.com. We'll be putting more excerpts of this. We'll get the podcast up on Spotify here in the next hour or so. We'll have that up. And, of course, you can watch this on YouTube. Many of you are watching this on YouTube now. And you can watch the whole thing over again. Share it with your friends. Tell them, hey, guess what? You know, there's a guy talking about conservative principles, and I think you're going to really enjoy him. So we will see you again tomorrow for more of the Nevada Conservative, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. We will see you again tomorrow for more of the Nevada Conservative podcast. Bye-bye.